My final project is to write a profile of 3 different Boston-based trail bloggers. After searching online, I found a lot of interesting trail blogs, and surprisingly, most of them are written by female travel bloggers. So I conducted interviews with Matty Pitton, Cami Pitatu, and Jennifer Cho. In my final project, I will cover the stories of these 3 female travelers, including their travel stories, trail tips particularly for women, and how they reflect their insights of each trip on blog from women's point of view.
So my name is Mathilde, I'm French and I'm 31 and I've been living in Boston for 3 years. And I'm a travel blogger. So it's more, I've started this blog more to talk about the life in the US as an expat. So talking about the differences between living in France and living in the US, like stuff like, I don't know, tipping or anything. I mean, probably you can relate because you're Chinese and you know that it's just different to live in the US. And then I started traveling. Like I said to my husband that we needed to travel at least 1 weekend a month. So we started to travel like in New England first, Cape Cod and Montreal, New York, and then we just started to travel more, and that's how the travel blog really started.
So I'm Kavi. So I am here to do it's called an internship. So it's a VIE actually. I went in Australia 4 years ago, and I have a lot of things to share and everything, but I didn't have a blog at this time. We come in the US, so I said, oh, that's really good, but this time I want to share my experience and to share everything with my friends, my parents, and maybe other people that I can help. Because I found a lot of things on the blog and everything, like the papers for the VIE. The blog from Mathilde is very good because there was a lot of cities to visit and a lot of tips and everything. So I said maybe don't share, maybe why I could share my experience too. So.
It all started when I was graduating from law school. So I mentioned I'm a patent attorney. So I went to law school at night. So I was working as a chemist during the day. So I didn't have that much free time. So when I finished law school, all of a sudden I had a lot of free time at night. So then I wanted to, do lots of interesting hobbies and stuff because I didn't have time before. I was always in school. It's funny because initially what I would say is that as a woman, you're sort of, sometimes for safety reasons, I'm less likely to travel by myself to certain locations because of safety, whereas as a man, I might feel more comfortable. Similarly, even hiking mountains and stuff, as a woman by myself, I might not do a trail in the woods by myself, but if I were with someone, I would be more willing to. So in that sense, I almost feel like it's a little bit harder as a woman to be a travel blogger because it's harder to travel by yourself. Benefits, I haven't really thought about that. I can't think of any off the top of my head unless if it's, because everyone's so different. You could say that women maybe are more relational and they're more effusive, and there are a lot of male bloggers that are very sensitive and very caring and write very heartwarming blogs as well. So overall, as a general rule, I don't think there's any huge disadvantage or advantage. For me, the safety issue is kind of the biggest glaring difference I personally feel.
Especially in the US, which I find way more different than in Europe, where I'm from, is that it's the road trip. Like road tripping in the US is something completely unique. The first road trip I did was from San Francisco to all the southwest part of the US. You don't have that in Europe. Like you don't road trip because it's more cultural. Like the tourism is more about visiting churches and museums, and it's less about the landscapes. Like here, it's really about nature, I think.
It's like sharing culture and sharing things and everything. In different countries, you don't live in the same way. So I really like that, like to see how other people live in their country, what is different from France, and what we can do. And I really like to exchange with other people from other countries to say you do that in your country, you do that, and that's like that. So I think after you have you're very open-minded, you're okay, I know how that works like that, so maybe you change your mind on how
because of my accent and because I have a different culture. But I have many American friends, and at the end I can't always be like, oh, I'm French. Like I have I don't notice all the stuff. But it's true that I will more see myself as traveling as a foreigner than as a female.